Every investor wants to find the next NVIDIA, the next stock that turns $10,000 into $1 million over a decade, the next dominant company nobody saw coming until it was too late to buy cheap. But here is what most people miss when they go hunting for the next big winner. The biggest returns over the next 10 years are not going to come from picking the right software company or the right AI app. They are going to come from owning the physical infrastructure that makes any of it possible, the power. The digital memory that stores the data, keeping the processing power fed, and the physical light that moves it at extreme speeds. Every AI model in the world, every cloud platform, every breakthrough humanity is about to invent depends on 3 specific physical bottlenecks. Without them, nothing else works. And right now, I found a way for my audiences like you to own each of those 3 bottlenecks through 3 separate ETFs that almost nobody is talking about. So, in this video, I am going to walk you through what those 3 ETFs are, why each one solves a different critical problem in the modern economy, and why owning the 3 of them together gives you a position in something more durable than any single stock pick. By the end, you will understand exactly why I think these 3 ETFs are some of the most overlooked long-term holdings in the entire market right now, and how they fit together into a single strategy we can hold for 10 years and barely have to think about. Stay with me, because the framework I am about to share is the kind of thing professional investors quietly use without ever explaining publicly. Let's get into it. So first, to understand why these 3 ETFs matter so much, you have to understand the problem they solve. For the last 20 years, investors have made enormous returns by betting on software. Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Google, Meta, NVIDIA. The story was always the same. New software product, new platform, new business model, and the stocks went vertical. Buying broad technology funds during that period was one of the best moves any investor could have made. But the next 10 years are not going to look like the last 20. The reason is simple. The constraint on technology is no longer software. The constraint is physics. AI data centers need so much electricity that the US power grid cannot handle the projected load. Memory chips are facing a multi-year supply shortage because the data being generated is outpacing the silicon that can store it. And the copper wires that carry data inside computers are hitting the physical limits of how much information they can move before overheating. Software can be written, code can be updated, but you cannot write more electricity into existence. You cannot code your way around a memory shortage. You cannot patch a copper wire that has hit the speed of physics. These are real physical bottlenecks, and solving them requires real physical companies that build real physical equipment. That is where these 3 ETFs come in. Each one targets a different bottleneck. Together, they form a complete picture of the infrastructure that quietly powers everything else. Standard semiconductor funds give you broad chip exposure. That used to be enough. But the next decade is going to be defined by the 3 specific hardware-level critical paths. Whether anything advanced can be built at all. Raw power, powering the future of AI. Digital memory capacity is the second critical bottleneck we must solve. And the physical movement of data through light is the final bottleneck. Most investors are still focused on the apps. The smartest investors are focused on the infrastructure underneath. And these 3 ETFs are the cleanest way to own that infrastructure. Let me show you the first one. The first ETF is the TEMA Electrification ETF, ticker VOLT. And this one solves what may be the single biggest bottleneck in the entire modern economy: power. Here's the conflict that VOLT is built around. Artificial intelligence data clusters require massive amounts of electricity. Microsoft posted capital expenditures of $29.9 billion in its most recent quarter alone, up 89% year over year. Almost all of it going into AI data centers that need to be plugged into the grid. Alphabet guided 2026 capital expenditures to between $175 billion and $185 billion. NVIDIA's own chief financial officer recently told investors the company has line of sight to projects requiring tens of gigawatts of AI infrastructure in the near future. 1 gigawatt is roughly the output of a large nuclear reactor. We are talking about needing dozens of nuclear reactor equivalents just to power the AI systems being built right now. The problem is that the current US electrical grid cannot handle this load. It was designed decades ago for a different economy. Transformers are old, transmission lines are stretched. To power what is coming, the grid has to be massively rebuilt, expanded, and modernized. And that work is going to take years. It is also going to cost trillions of dollars. That is exactly what Volt is positioned to capture. The ETF invests in the companies building the equipment that makes grid modernization possible. The top holdings include names like Powell Industries, Bel Fuse, Quanta Services, NextEra Energy, and Eaton. Eaton makes industrial electrical equipment and has seen its data center business grow 21% year over year. What makes Volt particularly compelling is that it covers the entire electrification value chain. Power generation, including utilities and nuclear, grid management, including the transformers and switchgear that route electricity across the system, and end-user applications, including the equipment that delivers power to data centers, factories, and EV charging networks. This is exposure to a full ecosystem that is about to receive trillions of dollars in mandatory investment over the next decade. The wires have to deliver the power, the transformers have to step the voltage, the substations have to manage the load. None of this is optional, none of it can be virtualized, and none of it can be skipped. What makes Volt especially interesting is the dual nature of the bet. On one hand, exposure to explosive AI growth. On the other hand, electricity is defensive. It packages growth inside utility. Utilities have been a refuge for cautious investors for over a century because their revenue is steady and regulated. Volt essentially packages a defensive utility bet inside a high-growth technology infrastructure bet. You get the upside of the AI build-out with the durability of the grid itself. The fund has already returned around 78% over the past 12 months. That is the first piece of the puzzle. The power has to be there before anything else can run, but power alone is not enough. The next bottleneck is memory, the bridge between raw power and the digital mind. The second ETF is the Roundhill Memory ETF, ticker DRAM. And it solves a problem that almost nobody outside the chip industry talks about, but that is quietly becoming a major theme: memory. Imagine buying the world's fastest race car and then driving it on a dirt road. That is exactly what happens to AI chips when memory cannot deliver data fast enough. The specific type of memory that AI systems need is called high bandwidth memory, or HBM. It is designed to feed data to AI processors at extreme speeds, and right now, HBM is facing a deficit. The specific type of memory that AI systems need is called high bandwidth memory, or HBM. It is designed to feed data at extreme speeds, and right now, HBM is facing a deficit. The Roundhill Memory ETF is a hyper-concentrated pure-play basket of the global memory champions. The top holdings include Micron Technology, SK Hynix, and Samsung Electronics. Micron, SK Hynix, and Samsung effectively form an oligopoly that controls global memory supply. When demand surges, as it is doing now, prices spike and these companies generate extraordinary profit margins. They sit at the choke point. Every AI model needs memory. Every smartphone, every electric vehicle, every server in every data center on Earth needs memory. The demand for memory is growing exponentially. By buying DRAM, you are essentially controlling the literal real estate where digital information has to live while it is being processed. You are not betting on which AI company wins, you are betting that they all need memory. The cycles are still there, but the baseline is permanently higher than it has ever been before. That covers two of the three bottlenecks. Power is flowing, memory is feeding the chips. The third ETF is the Corgi Lithography and Semiconductor Photonics ETF, ticker EUV. This one is the most exotic, but also potentially the most powerful. It solves two deep physical problems at once. Traditional copper wires inside computers are hitting their physical limits. They overheat. They cause bottlenecks. They cannot move enough data fast enough between huge clusters of processors. At the same time, the chips themselves are getting harder to make. We are now talking about chip features smaller than 2 nanometers, which is smaller than a strand of DNA. This requires extreme ultraviolet lithography, or EUV. The only technology on Earth that can manufacture chips at that scale is EUV, and only one company in the world makes EUV machines. That company is ASML, the Dutch semiconductor equipment giant. The Corgi EUV ETF gives you targeted exposure to both of these critical choke points. The first is lithography, dominated by ASML. The second is photonics. Companies like Corning are building the infrastructure that will replace copper wiring inside data centers. ASML's EUV machines cost more than $200 million each and have a backlog of orders stretching out for years. Extreme ultraviolet lithography is the only way humanity can manufacture sub-2 nanometer chips. There is no alternative technology, no backup plan. ASML has no competition, none. Now let me explain why owning the three together creates something much more powerful than owning any one of them alone. Each ETF solves a problem the others cannot. Volt powers the machine. DRAM remembers the data. EUV shrinks and routes the signals. These three layers form the complete physical infrastructure of the modern digital economy. Take any one of them away and the entire system collapses. When you own all three, you are owning the picks and shovels. Whatever new application becomes huge 5 years from now will still need power, still need memory, and still need advanced chip manufacturing. This is the 10-year strategy. First, the monopoly moat. Many of the key holdings operate as functional monopolies or oligopolies, with essentially no real competitors. When you own monopolies, you own pricing power. Second, this strategy lets you bypass the software war. Prediction is speculative, but every winner has to buy electricity, memory, and advanced chips. Investing in infrastructure removes the guessing game. Third, the hardware replacement cycle. Unlike software code, physical hardware has to be continuously replaced. This creates recurring revenue streams that compound year after year. The infrastructure supercycle is a continuous process that generates revenue for the same handful of companies decade after decade. It is not a one-time build-out. It is a continuous cycle that generates revenue for the same handful of companies decade after decade. That is the infrastructure supercycle. Thanks for watching, and please drop a like and subscribe if you liked the content.